Hello and welcome to yet another sonically charged episode of the Audiophile Man. And this time around I'm looking at a pair of stand-mounted speakers from Scansonic HD called the MB-1B speakers. Got some prices for you, I'll put those below. Now Scansonic HD is owned by a Danish company called Dantax, and Dantax also own other brands such as the high-end speaker range Raidho. Now you could say that the Scansonic planar tweeter, dripped down tech as it were from the Raidho range, is the star of this show. And it is, with the membrane formed by a Kapton aluminium sandwich of 20 microns thick. But as you are well aware, a star can carry a show, but certainly isn't the show. You need more than a planar tweeter to create a great speaker. So look out for the 133mm carbon fibre weaved mid-bass driver, sans dust cap, as you can see here, that sits below, and the quite heavily braced and rather curvy ventilated cabinet with a front-loaded port. Spanning 178mm by 312 by 286mm, weighing in 6.1 kilograms per speaker, these 8-ohm black or white speakers provide an 86 decibel sensitivity, which means you really should be running a 50 watt or higher amplifier to run these designs. And before we get to the actual review, a quick word on the process. Now the trad method of reviewing speakers is to trolley in another set of competing speakers of a similar price. You do a quick A/B and Bob's your grandmother. I was taught to do this many years ago when I was a print journalist, but I find the practice deeply unsatisfying. What if the speakers under review have 20 competing designs? So what about the other 19 then? And most people can't get access to your reference speakers anyway. To be fair, I would need to draft in all 20 and A/B those, but the review would take 6 months. I ain't getting paid enough. Most manufacturers wouldn't entertain the idea because that would be a group test, and all manufacturers hate group tests. Instead, because I'm on my own here, don't have too much time, I prefer to review in contrasts. So I will give you the benefit of my experience subjectively reviewing hundreds of speakers over the decades, then I'll review based on price contrast, then I'll review based on tech contrast. At least that will help you in your research and give you an overview of these speakers' capabilities. On that basis, well, how do these things sound? Well, let's have a little listen, shall we? Firstly, I wanted to change the tech, and I brought in my Quad 57 electrostatics with the One Thing panel upgrades, which, at least when I bought them, were of a similar price point. Although, I suspect they're probably a lot more nowadays. I first turned to CD and Stereolab, and the quite stunning LP Emperor Tomato Ketchup. And the track, is it Cybele? I think it might be Cybele's Reverie, which features some rather lovely vocal interplay, organ, percussion, electric and acoustic guitars, analog synths and strings. What I loved about the Scansonics during this test is that they were not floored with a right hook by the 57s in the first 10 seconds, but fought toe-to-toe and gave as good as they got. Did they win the fight, is your question? No, they didn't. But to suggest that the end of the bout was a score draw was quite startling, at least to me, because I'm a big Quad 57 fan. The 57s won out on the large reverberating sound of the organ, that big box resonance that only the 57s can give you, in my opinion, the large and packed soundstage, the attack from the analog synths that really jabbed and prodded, and the clarity in the vocal area. Now I have to say, the Scansonics were not at all bad on these points. In fact, they were excellent. But the Quad 57s is a specialist in all of these areas. Even so, what the Scansonics provided was more bass, so there was real tonal balance that much improved this track. They provided tremendous mid-range insight, so the cello on this track really did sound like a collection of strings, as opposed to an amorphous mass. The treble from the MB-1Bs was also delicate, but also more present in the mix. The shy cymbal action on this track being more obvious to the ear and also offering greater information. The soundstage was also wide and spacious, providing a tremendous sense of freedom to the music. Next, I grabbed a vinyl version of Songs of the Beatles by Sarah Vaughan. Quite possibly the best Beatles covers album I've ever heard. Certainly the most eccentric. I played the song about my distant cousin, Eleanor Rigby, with an almost Earth, Wind and Fire arrangement, and brought in a pair of Spendor A1 stand mounts, which retail now for around, something like £1,550. So cheaper than the MB-1Bs, certainly, but still of a price to challenge, I would say. The Spendors, of course, use a domed tweeter as opposed to the MB-1B's planar magnetic ribbon. Both of these speakers, incidentally, sat on a pair of hi-fi rack stands, which themselves sat on some stack audio feet. What the MB-1Bs offered here was a tremendous clarity across the upper frequencies. Instruments here offered a characterful performance with plenty of tonal realism. Secondary percussion like bongos, plus the drums themselves, being particular examples of that. Also, while the bass guitar wasn't any stronger in the mix, that guitar provided more information and detail during its performance. Secondary percussion such as the cymbals were also more insightful, adding space between themselves and everything else that was going on around them. And that's basically the review of the Scansonic HD MB-1B stand-mounted speakers. I'm going to give you a few final thoughts for this review. I'm also going to give you some pros and cons and a final rating. What I found notable about the Scansonic MB-1B speakers is that you get a lot of performance from a relatively small form factor. Sure, the small size puts a bit of a limit on bass depth and expanse, no surprise there, but these speakers still manage to provide an effective performance in that area. The highlight, of course, is the upper frequency insight and the tonal realism. That tweeter and the general design direction enhances instrumental separation, the measure of space and air in between different instruments, and the broad and expansive soundstage, and the accuracy from both the mids and the treble. I have to say, while some speakers out there do nothing but spin you a fairy tale, the Scansonic HD MB-1B speakers deliver a big dose of reality. And that's why I'm going to give these speakers an award-winning rating, an 8 out of 10, a groovy. Congratulations to Scansonic HD. And that's your lot, folks. Thank you very much for staying to the end of this video. Could I ask you before you go, down below, can you click on the like and subscribe buttons, please? Helps this channel enormously. Also, I'll put some links down below for the speakers themselves. My links too, they're down there for my Patreon page if you want to check out the latest episode of the exclusive Hi-Fi News, etc. It's over that way. Check it out. Have a little look. There's all kinds of other stuff over there too. Buys, guides, other videos, tours, things. Check it out. Also, I'll put links to my Facebook group, which you're welcome to join, and my website, which you can check out as well. It's also over there and includes all kinds of stuff you won't see here. I will be back on... When will I be back? On Friday or Saturday, not sure which, with a music alert video. Check both days. It's all fluid, folks. Not quite sure what's going on at the moment. Things are afoot. So, what was I going to say? Yeah, I was going to say goodbye. As simple as that. I've forgotten all about it. Because I want to hang out with you, you see. I want to be here for hours and hours and hours. You don't, I do. So, that's about it. Hope to see you in the next video. Until then, folks, bye-bye for now.